Well, the big work to keep your roads open is underway tonight ahead of the snowstorm. A number of different state and local agencies are already pre-treating roadways. Behind me, as a matter of fact, this is video, one of our crews following a Knox County brine truck. This is around Island Home Pike earlier tonight. You can see they're putting that brine down on the roads. Meanwhile, TDOT crews hitting state routes and interstates today, pre-treating them with brine. This video shows crews moving up and down I-81 in Hamlin and Greene counties. They'll be back at it again tomorrow, we're told. TEMA also holding a briefing this afternoon to discuss preparations ahead of the winter weather.
TDOT has a plan for road clearance, especially the interstates and state routes, once snowfall begins in earnest. So again, you really lose traction pretty quickly in a snowfall event, and so please make sure you give yourself lots of room to stop. And again, if you don't have to be out and about, it's a great time to be home and enjoy time with your families. Encourage anyone in Tennessee that needs groceries to get their French toast ingredients tomorrow before the snowfall begins.
Now, you might be able to tell there's also a big coordination effort right now going in responding to the weather. First responders in different communities will have different challenges, but we've heard from many of them that same message that you just heard from TEMA. Get off the roads before the conditions do get bad. Knoxville Assistant Fire Chief Mark Wilbanks telling 6 News one of the biggest steps his firefighters take is simply to keep up with the weather. The National Weather Service will give the department an update tomorrow on what to expect. Wilbanks tells us one of the most important things in a winter weather event is for the city, KPD, and KFD to work together when planning for issues that arise and for all the calls they get during the wintry blast.
We've already had some folks meeting, some of our teams have got together talking about our quick response vehicles that we'll put out on the roads, things like that. Making sure we've got our snow chains, making sure that our trucks are ready to go.
Wilbanks reminds everyone to stay home if you can during a winter weather event like the one we are expecting on Friday. And of course, we'll continue to follow this for you online and on air. Now, on your side, you've probably heard us mention the warming shelters set up in Knoxville for people who need a place to escape the cold. But we want to make sure you know there are several more to help people in surrounding communities. The state actually has an online map of them. You can see some of them behind me here right now, showing 64 shelters open across the state. They're shown by these green symbols as we kind of zoom in here for you. You can also search to find the closest one to you. And as we've been telling you, the Knox County Office of Housing Stabilization is partnering with churches to open shelters. The list includes Fountain City United Methodist, Vestal United Methodist, Magnolia Avenue United Methodist, and Cokesbury Church, plus an overflow site at the Salvation Army along Broadway. Now, if you need some of those resources, or if you know someone who does, or maybe you would like to help in the effort, we've got more information for you by going to our website, WATE.com. Well, TVA putting big bucks and big resources into keeping the heat on. 2 years ago, we, of course, had those rolling blackouts. If you were with us, you probably remember. And this year, TVA leaders say they want to make sure that no one has to go without power during a winter blast.
We have cold weather plans at every one of our sites. And so they're all triggered by a temperature. And so that has specific actions that each site undergoes.
TVA says you can save about 3% on your power bill for each degree you lower the thermostat. Also, Knox County EMA is saying to dress in layers and limit time outside in this cold weather. Well, now to a tragic house fire in Sevier County. The Sevier County Sheriff's Office has identified 2 children who lost their lives. They've been identified as 15-year-old Esperanza Gutierrez and 8-year-old Mateo Gutierrez. The fire was back on December 30th off South Flat Creek Road. Now, when first responders were called to the scene around 9:30 that morning, they found the home engulfed in flames. Shortly after, they confirmed 2 people were killed. According to the Sheriff's Office and further investigations, the cause of the fire was accidental. Authorities believe a kerosene heater was being used to heat the home, triggering the fire. And Sevier County Mayor Larry Waters releasing a statement. He said, quote, "Our thoughts and prayers are with the Gutierrez family and all those affected by this devastating loss of 2 young lives." Mayor Waters went on to say, "We are grateful to our emergency responders for their diligent work during this difficult time." And wrapping up our Big 7 list for you, a step forward, decades in the making for a big project. The city of Knoxville will build a pedestrian bridge over the Tennessee River. Today we learned the city has been awarded a $24.7 million raise grant from the U.S. Department of Transportation. That comes after 2 previous rejections. Now, this money will be combined with $20 million from the state to fund construction.
Our guiding principles for this pedestrian bridge project are to celebrate South Knoxville's unique character, integrate mixed use and mixed income development, expand multimodal infrastructure to ensure connectivity and access, maintain the intent of the form-based code, and most importantly, create beautiful and accessible public spaces.
The bridge will span the Tennessee River from Clancy Avenue on the south side to a pedestrian concourse located between Food City Center at Thompson Bowling Arena and Pratt Pavilion. Well, tonight, Knoxville police reporting a 14% increase in deadly crashes last year compared to 2023. In Knoxville, 52 people died in crashes in 2024. 45 were killed in crashes in 23. As for the main causes of last year's incidents, police say speed, not wearing seat belts, and intoxication were to blame. And police also saying a general lack of attentiveness likely contributed to numerous fatal crashes. Meanwhile, tonight, Knoxville police are revealing that nearly the same number of guns were reported stolen from cars in 2024 and 2023. KPD says 133 guns were stolen from cars last year. In 2023, that number was 132. Police want this number to go down, obviously, which is why that they are asking people now to take steps to prevent car burglaries. KPD says to lock your car and to secure or remove any valuables, especially firearms.